all day. I have depression and anxiety. I never mean what I say. I don't say what I mean unless I lie. I received a lifetime underachievement award. It's a participation trophy for being born. Someday we will look back and say, remember when we were gonna procrastinate? We never did, but we're gonna do it one day. Isn't it ironic, don't you think? It's like rain on your wedding day. It's the good advice that turned out to be cake. 10,000 spoons when you're in a knife fight. Isn't it ironic, don't you think? I never seize the day. When the going gets tough, it's easier to quit. Someday we will look back and say, remember when we were gonna procrastinate? We never did, but we're gonna do it one day. Isn't it ironic, don't you think? It's like rain on your wedding day. It's the good advice that it turned out to be cake. 10,000 spoons when you're in a knife. It's Friday.
Thriller to get a comedy show started? Is that allowed?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Living Room Show. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here tonight. All right, considering it's only the comics and Ron and Laura who are unmuted and Sherry, that's about all the applause I was expecting to hear. But here we go. Couple of quick announcements before we get started. The first, obviously the most important announcement, is we want to hear your awesome, amazing laughter. If you are somewhere with not too much background noise, if you do not currently live next to an airport, go ahead and unmute yourselves. Let us hear your awesome laughter. But if you feel that you've got a dog who will be barking, or if you yourself occasionally just start yelling because you're watching hockey, I don't know, and you want to stay muted, at least turn your cameras on. Let me see your beautiful smiling face. It is really appreciated. Adrian, perfect. You've got that smile going, but if you want to unmute, that would be even more perfecter, which is impossible because it's something that either is or is not perfect. You can't be more or less perfect. Where it's just going to be me explaining what things are binary from here on out. You can't be kind of unique. You either are or you are not. All right, everyone. That's actually been outlawed by the federal government. Okay, we are moving on right now. I got more announcements that I got to make for you. Third. My third announcement? We're going to say third. Second subset A announcement is that this is a free stand-up comedy show. But if you want to show the comics some love, if you want to make it so I can keep paying these comics, you can go ahead and send some tips. You could do that using the email livingroomcomedy@gmail.com. You could find it on Venmo, PayPal, and Zelle. Also, I'm on Cash App. Go to cash.app/$ Aaron Kominos-Smith. I put those links in the chat. If you are unsure of how to spell my name, it's down here on the bottom, and it's also in the chat. And I'm sure someone will still spell Aaron with 2 R's and only 1 A instead of 2 A's and 1 R. But go for it. Spell it however you want. That's what happens every time. Next announcement, big thank you to everybody watching us on Comedy Hub on Twitch. Give them a round of applause. Love having them here with us. Thank you so much. I moved the thank you higher up in my list of things to do in the Google Doc because I always forget during the show. And then as soon as I finish the show, I'm like, I forgot to thank Jared, and I forgot to thank Annie, and I forgot to thank Comedy Hub on Twitch. I'm terrible. I can't believe they still want to keep having us as a part of their broadcast network. I don't know if it's a broadcast. I'll call it a broadcast network. Yeah, guys, we're CBS, NBC, Comedy Hub. I think they're all like Comedy Hub's like right behind the budget of CBS, NBC, and ABC. Me personally, I'm at the UPN level of budget. That's where I am at. I try at least once a month to reference UPN. I feel like it's a network that really deserves more recognition. Was a huge fan of Shasta McNasty. All right, great show. And we need more people referencing it. No one does seem to know. All right, do I have any more announcements? I feel like that was enough. I feel like everyone pretty much knows what's going on right now. We've got an amazing show for all of you. We've got an incredible MC. You know him, you love him, you're looking at him right now. Let's hear it from me, everybody. Yeah. All right, everyone. What's going on? What's going on with me right now? Good question. First of all, happy 58th night of Hanukkah, everybody. Man, I keep keeping the joke going, right? I'm keeping it going. I won't let it stop. Or happy, wait, what did I say? Happy 409th night of Hanukkah. If you were still going from the previous year's Hanukkah, you could keep doing it. You could just keep going from the Hanukkahs just keep overlapping. They keep happening every time. What did I do today? My wife, my 3-year-old, and I, we took a fun trip to Grand Central Terminal. We just wanted, they've still got their holiday train shows up, believe it or not. Which, by the way, if there's one group or organization that kept their Christmas lights out longer than everyone else, I wouldn't have thought it would have been the MTA. They did it. We have some neighbors at a building across the street just took down their Christmas lights. MTA still got their holiday Christmas show out. That's what they're doing with all that extra money from congestion pricing, is keeping the holiday Christmas tree decoration or Christmas train decoration going. By the way, my parents are totally on board with my suggestion, which is that the point of congestion pricing is to decrease the amount of congestion and that it is incorrectly named. So I am personally lobbying the MTA to change the name. It should be called decongestion pricing. That's really what it should be called. And then everyone would be like, oh, that was the goal? That was the point? Oh, yeah, now we're on board. And that on board would be an accidental pun because they run trains. All right, everyone. Another fun thing, I'm going to hold up. There's a cool thing that they do here in New York. They may do it in other places outside of New York, but I don't live there. I only live here, so I only know here. These things called transit checks. They're these credit cards where you can have pre-tax deducted money put on these transit credit cards, and you can use it to buy things like your subway fare or Metro North or Long Island Railroad train tickets, although I'm not sure who actually wants to go to Long Island. I'm not sure. But perhaps the people wanting to leave Long Island, you can use this to get it. Why do I not care that I'm showing you my number directly? Is because this was a card that I had from a while ago, and the fare actually had changed slightly from the time that I'd gotten this card. So I've been gradually using this to buy some tickets here and there. Currently, there is 75 cents on this card, which can only be spent on a subway fare or I think even on parking. Nothing costs 75 cents in the transit world. I actually tried to use it at a ticket vending machine. I put in my Metro card and I said, I want to add money. How much money? 75 cents. I actually dialed in the 0.75. Believe it or not, under $2.90, under a full subway fare, cash only. Wow. I could not use my transit check. So if anybody wants this, maybe you need to practice flicking a credit card at someone. I don't know. You can have it. Although it's a lie when I wrote with a Sharpie on top where it says 30. There's no longer $30 on there. So just don't, you're going to overdraft is what I'm saying. And they're not going to be happy when you try to use it at a restaurant, despite the fact that you can't use it at a restaurant anyway. So yeah, I don't really know what to do with this 75 cents. It is trapped. Speaking of change, I think Trump just canceled the penny. Is that true? I don't know if that's a true story or if that was a spoof story that someone made up. And I'm like, that sounds like it could have been, because it's one of those gray area stories that you just kind of can't tell if it's real about our current society or if it's fake. Nikki said true story in the chat, that really did happen. That's what I thought. Yeah, but I feel like it's been at least the last 30 plus years that there is more than a penny's worth of copper in a penny. And I don't know about you guys, but I've been trying to get together a bunch of investors to buy a smelting machine. And if we could just get together a few billion pennies and spend however many millions of dollars it costs to buy a smelting machine, and fire up that furnace, we could melt all those pennies down, and after a couple billion pennies, we can make like $4 or $5 profit. Just don't put it on a transit check, or else it'll be stuck there. You're not going to be able to get it back. So I guess that is true. There's no more pennies. That's fine. I feel like no one under the age of 25 knows what like physical money is anyway. So, I mean, even these things, like no one, like the credit cards, like no one. Like, I feel like that's like every decade that goes by, we know less and less about actual money. And they're going to be like, oh, you use Apple Pay. Oh, no, I just say like, I owe you. Like, we're going to go back to that. That's going to be like my daughter is just going to go on a, like, there won't even be like Apple Pay. It's just going to be like, yeah, that feels like 4 to 5 minutes worth of work that I owe you back. So we're just going to gauge each other's worth in time. I think that's what it is. Or I'll give you 5 minutes of my attention. And for that, I need you to plow all these fields for me. All right, everybody. I totally messed up. I forgot to ask, is anyone here for the first time? Anybody watching this show for the first time? Carrie Gravenson's never been here before, but she's figuring it out. Anybody else here for the first time? I feel like everybody pretty much has been here, so you know the deal. I don't even know why I bothered to do any of those announcements at the beginning. Everybody knows it. Just right now, just go into Venmo and just send me $10,000. That's your job. That's how much my time is worth. All right, that's what it is. What else did I want to talk to you? It was great being out in the city today. The city is rough, and I'm not sure if it's okay to expose my 3-year-old daughter to such a rough city. I saw a pigeon that was missing a foot. Oh man, this city is rough. Guys, even our pigeons have diabetes. All right, that's good. I had a feeling Sophia and Carrie would be the only ones to find that funny, and I was correct. You would enjoy it. That's really a joke that only comics like. Did I do that joke on a live broadcast show over the Next VR network many years ago? And was that the only joke that pretty much bombed in 10 minutes straight of jokes that did great? Yes, that joke was incredibly flat, maybe because it only had one leg to stand on, but it did do very well. That's like my third Gordon groan, and I am loving it. I am getting Gordon groan left and right. I'm making Sophia and Carrie laugh. I don't know if you guys caught my amazing joke at the beginning when Laura couldn't hear Ron, and that's because Laura was muted in their own house. I was loving it. Oh man, everybody, we're gonna keep the show rocking and rolling. Are you guys excited to see some other faces other than just my amazing face? Yeah. All right. I am excited for this next comic. He is returning to the Living Room Show. I feel like it's his 3rd, 4th, 1000th time doing it, but I'm just happy to have him back because he is absolutely hilarious. Let's hear right now for the amazing, the talented, the lovely Mr. Evan Morgenstern, everybody. Let him hear it.
Thank you. Yeah, when you said the 1000th, that made me feel like you've decided I'm on too many times. All right, this will be my last one. That's it. I got it. Thank you. And sorry, I was laughing earlier. I can't move a lot because I hurt my shoulder because I'm at the age where I got out of bed this morning and hurt my shoulder. So I'm in kind of a lot of pain. I didn't realize just how old I was until I started a new job a couple of weeks ago. And I started with someone who was also starting. He's a bit younger than me. I said, he asked what I was doing this weekend, and I said I was doing a comedy show at 8 o'clock, and he said, "Oh, what are you doing after that?" I said, I was thinking of going to bed. I don't know. Going to a bar. Yeah, I'm gonna go hang out. Yeah. I have obsessive compulsive disorder. Yes, my therapist thought I should share that with a bunch of people I've never met. So thank you for that. Yeah, the usual things. Washing my hands 100 times, triple checking the stove. But I have something else that I had in college. They called it baby finger death. And that, if you don't know, affects one in every, well, it affects me. That's the only thing. What it is I had the fear that I would go to bed with dirty hands and somebody could break into my dorm room. This is in college. And what if the person they could break in with a baby and put my dirty fingers in the baby's mouth and the baby would get sick and die. This is an actual fear. I told that to my therapist, who said, they're supposed to be supportive. I think that's probably the fault of the person who's breaking in with a baby and sticking your fingers in its mouth. But I'll give you like maybe 40% of the responsibility at that. I've been married and divorced twice. Also something that I was told I should share in a room full of people I've never met. There's usually somebody who applauds or cheers, and I'm like, we're not bonding over that. That's not a good thing. The first marriage, on our first date, she showed up about 40 minutes late. And about 6 years into the marriage, I woke up and I thought, you know what? That's kind of messed up. I don't need to take that. Never mind. This is over. My second marriage, basically, she's part German. I'm Jewish. I'm from Florida. She's black. We both slept with one all the time. Actually, we got married in 2016, and I kind of blamed Trump for getting elected and accentuating our differences for us. I have a cat. Yes, believe it or not, I'm a 45-year-old man with a cat now, and I actually only have a cat because they wouldn't allow dogs in my building, my apartment building, and I'm disappointed, and I let my cat know that every second of every day. I just yell at him, I'm like, you are not a dog, you're a cat. And you're a huge disappointment. Going back to my therapist, I think my therapist thinks that that's something that I need to address as far as certain family issues and whatnot. But if you feel bad for my cat, don't worry. My cat gets his revenge. A lot of people think like, well, my cat wouldn't even care if I died. My cat's actively trying to kill me. I sleep with a CPAP machine and a mask, and again, more, in case you wanted more insight into the divorces. And I woke up one night and I couldn't breathe through the mask. And I look over and my cat is standing there on the machine. I turned off the button with that kind of. Oh, you wanted a dog?
Oh my God.
Yeah, my cat is deliberately just really annoyed with me. I'll go out and I'll if I'm dating, maybe I'll spend the night, with a partner, and I'll come back to my cat just spinning around in the swivel chair. Like petting a person, actually. Slowly. Yeah, so I've decided, monogamy wasn't working, so I've decided to start polyamory. I can date more than one person. And somebody that I'm dating actually is married and has a kid. And I just thought, after the divorces, I may never get the family I've ever wanted. So this is my way of kind of getting a family like on layaway. Just sort of waiting that marriage out. It is, as mentioned, I am from Florida, so this is the only time of year I actually miss being from the state of Florida. Otherwise, I'm constantly apologizing to people that I am from Florida for my state. We're talking about New York being dangerous. People don't think of it, but Miami's pretty dangerous, especially growing up in the 80s. There was always watching Cops and seeing like, oh, Mom, that's the bowling alley we go to, where they're chasing down the drug dealer. Oh, kind of judging my parents for that kind of situation. My father was very old school, sort of boomer kind of guy who, no matter what profession there was, he'd always have to point out, son, there's a lady doing this job. Like, I got a lady dentist. Can you believe it? Wow, they're letting them do that, Dad? Really? He'd fly in. Oh, we had a lady pilot. Can you believe it? Wow, Dad. The lady pilot didn't crash the plane doing her nails? Oh, God. Oh, wow. So I just figured one day I'm just going to get a call from him. Son, I'm being operated on by a lady surgeon. Can you believe it? A lady? Anyway, thank you guys so much. Great.
Well, keep it going for Evan, everybody. Evan, do you want to keep? You can do more time if you want. By the way, you can keep going. We got plenty of time.
Wow. Trying to think of what clean material is left after you've heard about my life and upbringing. I don't know how much I have left for that.
Go do the PG-13 material.
The
PG-14 material.
Yeah. Is there such a thing? Well, I was going to say, I mean, my dad's other thing was that he did vote for Trump the first time around, and Trump was against Hillary in that one, and his thinking was, and this is what he said to me: who would you rather see? If you caught somebody taking a shower in the White House, Bill Clinton as the first person, or Melania? And I thought, first of all, if the Secret Service is letting you get that close, we have a lot of problems. But also, I really hope that he had more invested into what he was voting for and why. I think that's just he had a very one-track mind. That just we were one of the rare houses in Miami growing up that he was into illegal substances, and I don't know how we never got on Cops. It's just so hard to find houses in Miami where there was actually drugs going on. So. Okay, I think that's I'm exhausted. I think that's good.
Okay, keep it going for Evan, everybody. Now I'm gonna make him do 20 more minutes.
Okay, so
thank you, Evan. Thank you so much for doing it. Luckily I have not had to live in Florida, although my grandparents, like all good Jews, moved there in, I believe, in 1980, I think, like right before I was born. They moved down to Fort Lauderdale, and I have nothing funny to say about it at all, because there was almost nothing positive about having to go to Florida twice a year to go visit, and it's so weird, except for where Ron and Laura live in Boca. It's gorgeous. It's just that part of Florida is the most gorgeous, most beautiful, only a couple miles away from where my grandparents moved in Fort Lauderdale, but totally different. No, every time I went, all I did was sit in their retirement community and then go use the pool. And then every time I try to use the pool and swim, it was just like old ladies with their hair, with like plastic hair, just being like, don't splash, stop splashing, don't splat. Like that was all I did. I was just go to Florida, try not to splash. They didn't want to ruin their hair. All right, they had the rollers in for like 18 hours a day, and they take the rollers out to put a plastic bag on top to go to the pool. They didn't swim. I don't even know what these ladies did in the pool. They just went to the pool and they just like whatever it was that built up under their arms just caused their arms to float up. They would just sit there and gossip about whose grandchildren splashed too much, and that was all they did. That was the time in Florida. That's all I really know about Fort Lauderdale. Sorry, Lauderdale Lakes. Every community in Fort Lauderdale, I hear in that accent. We live in Lauderdale Lakes. Have you been to the mall? It's shaped like an alligator. That's all I remember. Is that the mall, if you look at the floor plan, was shaped like an alligator. All right, everybody, we're gonna keep this show rocking and rolling right now. Speaking of being possibly too Jewish, this next comic, her initials, by the way, when she sent me a message in the chat, came up as SS. I think I've just seen too many World War II movies going to her school, so I was like, oh, the SS is here. What? That's not good. Anyway, next comic is very, very different from the SS, which I believe is the intro she was hoping for. She is absolutely hilarious. Again, back at this show, finally, even though it's been many times, still never enough. Happy to have her back. Let's hear for the amazing and talented Sophia Smerendescu, everybody. Let her hear it.
What's poppin', you gorgeous people? I normally say something inappropriate, but I can't say it. Actually, my dad lives in a senior home in Las Vegas, and it's like full of like people who like gambled away their livelihood that live there, and yeah, okay, great, perfect. But PG-14 is a thing in Canada. Actually, I just wanted to tell you that.
PG-14.
Fun fact. Okay, everyone's turning their cameras off. Great, I'll start with jokes. I was reading the news and I saw Elon Musk brought his annoying child to work. Do you guys see that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep. Okay. He brought him to the Oval Office for some sort of press conference. It was bring your 13th illegitimate son to work day, I guess. So. But I'm single. I've been trying to date recently. I'm a terrible dater. Do we have any terrible daters here?
Yes.
Any terrible marriages? No, honestly, I think if you're watching a Zoom show, you're probably in a good place. So you guys are good. I went out with a foodie recently and he kind of disgusted me before a first date because he texted me the phrase, "What should I have for a snacky snack?"
Wow.
Gross. I was like, I'm gonna have chips and celibacy. And I do feel like sometimes I ruin things, you know, before they get a chance to begin dating wise, because like toward the end of the date, this guy went in for like a kiss, but I gave him a handshake. It made sense to me though, because I met on LinkedIn, so. He's been my boss for 4 wonderful years. Okay. I think someone's internet's delayed because like I hear like claps and laughs like super late, but I love it. Keep it on. I'm just getting heckled by clapter. I love it. When I was growing up, I cyberbullied my drama teacher on AOL Instant Messenger. Yeah, as a kid, I wanted to defund the arts. But I messaged her every day on AOL for like a week. I found out her screen name because she was logged into the class computer. But I messaged her every day for a week. I was like posing as the principal and I was like asking her out. I was like hitting on her. It was like a cross between like You've Got Mail meets To Catch a Predator. And so we were messaging for a whole week. Like we were in this serious like talking phase, and then I get to class the next week and she just starts screaming at us. And she's just like, "I know one of you is messaging me on AOL, knock it off." And I didn't fess up, but I went home and I just sent one final message. I just was like, "Please don't blame the children. I've loved you all these years."
Oh.
Okay. All right, that's fine. I recently got ghosted by my improv teacher. Yep.
Uh-oh.
I went out with my improv teacher recently. We went out for a month and he never told me I'm funny. So he told me like toward the beginning of us going out that he wasn't looking for anything serious because he was, quote, focusing on his art. And you know, I'm hurt he doesn't want a relationship with me, but I'm more hurt that he called improv art. And things got kind of intimate between us. You know, he was yes-anding my lady bits. And he was terrible at it. It was really bad. And then he ghosted me right after that. And I was super pissed, so I Venmo requested him for the cost of class. And in the subject line, I just put terrible object work. And now I'm banned from Second City, so. It sounds like laughs, but also like I feel like I'm in a bathroom. Are we good, Blue Dog? Are you doing well? Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, I love Blue Dog. He comes to all these Zoom shows. All right, cool. I'm carrying on with the material. My last boyfriend. Wait till you hear about this guy. He was in love with his best friend we dated. What the heck? Yeah, they were both like evangelical Christians that were like in love with each other. But I felt like they were really good together because they both like wore Birkenstocks and like, I don't know, but like, we got in like a really big fight about his friend one time and I just blurted out in the middle of the fight. I just was like, yeah, why don't you just marry her? And he did. And I was like so pissed because I found their wedding picture and I was like so pissed. So I called my dad and I knew my dad would cheer me up because he's a misogynist. And I was like, Dad, I was like, Henry got married. And my dad's like, yeah, let me see a picture of her. So I sent him a picture and my dad texts me. He's like, LOL, you mean he married horse gums? He's like, you made a big mistake, dear. You have such skinny gums. All right, this is just not hitting. That's fine. I'm doing my clean material. I'm trying to do new. All right, whatever. I'm just giving you the rationale. That's fine. I am a sucker for these nonprofit canvassers with the clipboards. Have you seen these people on the sidewalk?
Yep.
Every time I see them, I'm like, fine, I'll sign up for the Marines. But I got stopped by this guy recently and he was like, hey there, you look like an angel. And I was like, hey there, you look like you take advantage of women. And I donated because I thought he was cute. I didn't know what nonprofit it was. I wasn't even listening. But then I got home and I saw that we actually matched an OkCupid like the day before. And he messaged me and he's like, oh my God, this is so crazy. Thank you so much for donating and making a difference. And then he ghosted me.
Oh.
So then I reported my credit card as stolen, but my bank flagged the transaction for being too selfless anyway. So I think I'm gonna stop dating guys I have financial transactions with. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, great. I found poop under my bed recently.
What?
Yeah. I thought it was rat poop. I live alone. Lots of weird things happen when you live alone. And I found this weird brown thing under my bed. And then I take a closer look and it's poop. So I emailed my landlord. I'm like, hey, this is kind of random, but I found poop under my bed and I don't have a pet and I also stopped drinking. And he was like, can you send me a picture of the poop? Okay, so I got rid of it by this point, so I sent him a Getty Images picture of rat poop. Had like a watermark on it. No response. And then I remembered that I cat sit like 8 months prior and I completely forgot about it. So it was just like, it was like it was cat poop. So I made him look at poop for no reason and it was perfectly dehydrated. It was beautiful. So I made him look at poop for no reason, but you know, for how expensive my apartment is, I think stool samples should be an amenity. Whatever. I love the groans. I'm living for them. I love Zoom. I love seeing people's homes. We got some nice ceiling lamps. We have some good frames on the wall. Love it. I have a microwave in my apartment. Does anyone here have a microwave? Oh, great. Great, Ron. Wait. A lot of microwaves, they have tinted windows. It's like, why does my frozen burrito need a tinted window? Is it doing drugs? I'm a big fan of the complimentary plate that comes with a microwave. You guys seen this thing? I love eating off of it. It's actually my wedding china. Have you guys seen this necklace underneath the plate? Hey, I wore that to my wedding. All right.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I haven't been married. Sorry. Okay, I'm lying. All right, I'm gonna finish up with one quick joke, and I'll get out of here. How does that sound? Ooh, okay. Okay. This feels like the end of therapy or Zoom. I'm a Romanian gal. Do we have any other Romanians here tonight? Make some noise. Ooh. Wait, are you for real, Carrie?
Yeah,
Oh, great.
on my dad's side.
Like, what percentage are we talking?
We don't know. Everyone was doing it.
I thought this was a clean show. We're celebrating.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. My dad, his name is Basarab, which is a really fun name. Sounds like a name of a sexy terrorist. But he has a really fun accent. When I was growing up, I loved the way he said certain words. Like the way my dad says ankle and uncle, virtually identical. So, and it's confusing for me because my dad has uncle issues and tumultuous really. And he has joint issues, so it's hard to know what he's talking about. So I made up a game. It's called Ankle or Uncle. I'm gonna tell you something that my dad has told me, and we're all gonna guess if I'm talking about his ankle or his uncle. You guys cool with this game?
Woo.
Okay. Every time I drink barefoot wine, my uncle always gets so swollen.
Ankle.
Uncle.
Okay. All right. All right. I recently plucked 13 ingrown hairs from my uncle.
Uncle.
Uncle Paul. Okay. Wait, one more. My uncle recently contracted hepatitis C, trapped me inside his guest house, and will not let me leave without brute force. Really a joint.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks. I read one premise by you guys, and I'm done.
Go. Do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my last apartment looked perfectly into my neighbor's window. So I used to look at her naked all the time, and then her cat would look at me naked. Then I finally met her in the elevator, and she didn't know who I was, but I knew her silhouette intimately, and I was like, oh my god, 401B. I was like, I almost didn't recognize you without seeing your butt mole. I was like, did you guys start dating someone? Why is he always microwaving Hot Pockets? All right. I've been Selena Gomez. Get up your host and all the comedians.
for Selena, everybody. Yes. Are we? Is it still do you have to choose between Selena Gomez and Ariana Grande? Do you still have to choose which one you like better, or am I 8 years behind the 8 ball on that one? Was that even a thing, or did I just?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Did I just make that up in my head that was you either liked one or the other? Maybe it was 15 years ago. Maybe it was 30 years ago. No, maybe it never existed, and it's two completely unrelated. It's actually like Harry Styles and Wayne Newton, and it was you either liked one or the other. And maybe that's the one I'm thinking of. I do find it fun to say Ariana Grande because it's one of those names where you don't have to actually close your mouth at all when you say it. If you say it the right way, if you say it the way you're meant to say it, like someone who's under the age of 30, you're like, do you guys like Ariana Grande? Ariana Grande, Ariana, no, Ariana. I think that's how you have to say it. It's also funny because I looked it up. She's 5'3" or 5'4", and her last name is Grande. And I'm like, this is a real like Starbucks style of giving yourself a last name, isn't it? Like, this is Ariana Grande. She has an older sister who's 3 inches taller, which her last name is Mammoth. Like just huge. No. Also, she always like, I think that's why she's always constantly belting out everything like as aggressively as possible in every song, is because she wants to sound like she's 5'6" or 5'7". So she just really, whoa, wow, big Ariana Grande fans that we got tonight. Apologies for stepping on some grande sized toes. I mean, in my defense, how could I not? They're so grand. They're gigantic toes. It's so much fun. You guys should really try just walking around your house all day, just going, oh my God, Ariana. Ariana. Yeah, isn't that fun? Yeah, see, Brandon's got it. Or Gordon. It was either Brandon or Gordon who said that. I'm not sure. But either one of you nailed it. All right. That was absolutely perfect. That I love that you, that Sophia said she put the Getty Images photo of poop that you sent it over. That's actually my goal when I just want to look more famous. So I've decided I'm going to take a photo of myself in a suit and then just like Photoshop the Getty Images logo on it. I'm just gonna post it on Instagram. No description whatsoever, and let the rest of you try to figure it out. Like, what red carpet event was he at? Like, can't tell. Can't tell you. It's up to you. Oh man, everybody. All right, guys, we've got one more comic for all of you, but before we do that, this is that time of the show where I've got to make my announcement. As you know, it's a free stand-up comedy show, but how do I get to keep paying for amazing, wonderful things like this Zoom account? How do I get to keep paying for things like that MailChimp that you guys get an email each week, sometimes the day of, sometimes a couple days in advance when I'm on my game, by sending some tips? You could do that using livingroomcomedy@gmail.com, on Venmo, PayPal, and Zelle. And if you're wondering how much is a good amount, I suggest $45 per person watching per show. Guys, come on, inflation, am I right? Also, shout out to those who have donated the last couple weeks. I think I finally wrote down everyone's name on here. I didn't make the levels to know that you've all made Department of Justice level. All right, whatever that means. Lewis, Evil Dave, thank you to Brandon, thank you to Sydney and Joni on the 4 times, and to Gordon, and to other Brandon. I had to write other because there were 2 Brandons that sent some tips. And Evil Dave again, and to CJ, and to Elliot, and to Michael, and to I think this was a second or third time Brandon sent a tip. So that Brandon, it may have been that Brandon or other Brandon. Again, I'm not sure which Brandon that was. Aaron, Evil Dave, and Laura, all sending some tips. Super appreciated. I think that was 3 weeks worth of people sending tips. A lot of Brandons showing up on that list. So to that I say, let's not go Brandon, because it is much appreciated. Carrie looks confused. I guess she doesn't know that that's what people, when they said, let's go Brandon, it meant the opposite of being a Joe Biden fan. Okay. We are going to keep this show rocking and rolling with your final comic. She is absolutely hilarious. The former co-producer of the show. So happy to have her back. Let's hear right now for the amazing, the talented, you know her, you love her. We've all missed her. We've cried every night to sleep thinking about her. Let's hear it for Carrie Gravenson, everybody.
Oh, thank you for having me back. It's lovely to be back. Are you mad that I used the background? I thought that was
amazing
like
that you used the background.
Okay, good. I wondered. I didn't know, but I'm not ready for anyone to see my living room. That's the other thing. It's too neat. Everyone would be like, "Oh, she's too neat." Spooky. So I did dry January, you guys. I didn't have a drop of alcohol in January, and I learned nothing. I learned that waking up hungover is my natural state. How much I drink. I just wake up with a headache and a stomach ache as my default setting. So that I found that I am embarrassing at a party sober. It doesn't. I can embarrass myself at any party, any gathering that I used to enhance with alcohol, thinking it would make me a little bit more relaxed to talk to people. Nope, didn't matter. Wasn't more relaxed, and I would end up saying stupid things, sober and drunk. It's great. I did save a little money, but they have like non-alcoholic drinky drinks now, so you can still spend as much money as you would on a drink and just not have alcohol. So I tried to do that so that I wouldn't miss losing money. Yeah, that was it. I had a really rough January. I know. I saw a lot of you in December, but January is the month where I catch up on movies because it's Oscar season, right? Does anyone else do this? You like binge watch as many movies as you can. And I was doing this as part of my self-care. I was like, you can relax. If you're having a bad time, you don't need to do anything. You can just stay home and watch movies. And then I also said to myself, you know what? You're feeling down. You're feeling bad about yourself. There is nothing in this world that is going to make you have to watch Dune 2. That is something I'm giving to myself as a gift, as a self-care gift. Does that, okay, good. Thank you. I appreciate that. I am also in therapy. Surprise, surprise. I call my therapist the most expensive open mic in the city. I am paying out of pocket. I make my therapist laugh, and then I leave the session and write things down because. And it's taken a couple years. I've been seeing her for, I don't know, 2.5, something like that, a couple years. And I finally, you guys, hang on, comics, hold on. I got my therapist to do a spit take. Do non-comedians know what a spit take is? When you take a sip and she spit out what she was drinking. And I was like, I win. Like, I just won therapy. Like, I made my therapist spit out her beverage. The worst part that I don't know if I should tell the end of the story. I was quoting South Park. It was not my own material. I ripped off South Park and made my therapist do a spit take. I messed up immediately. I was super mad about it. Because I've been funny this whole time, you know? She doesn't even watch South Park. So then I sent her the clip of the song that is R-rated, but it's in the movie. And I sent her the clip of that. And I was like, are we into sending each other funny clips from South Park? We're not friends. I'm mad. I need to work on my material, is what I gathered from the spit take thing. One thing I did in January to make myself feel better was I went to a spa. Have you heard of these things? It's a warm place you can go, and they've got saunas and steam rooms and hot tubs. But I didn't go to a regular spa. I went to the crazy Russian spa in Coney Island. Has anyone been to a banya? It is not a regular spa. There is fine print in the thing that you sign when you walk in that you are promising to not have any fun. When you're in there. It was, I know, it was crazy. It was 11 a.m. So I ordered coffee. They have a little restaurant. The food was amazing. No complaints about the food. But I ordered coffee. I said, do you have coffee? Because it wasn't on the menu. I said, do you have coffee? And the guy looked at me and he looks down and he goes, we have coffee. No cream, no sugar, black only. You want coffee? Just took all the fun out of coffee. Like, oh yes, I want that coffee. Only if it's lukewarm, right? Please give it to me in a mayonnaise jar. I don't, no enjoyment from this coffee whatsoever. Just like inject it. I don't even want the flavor. Yeah, that was very rude of him. I have realized that I have unspoken rules for how someone should send me a clip of their toddler. I don't have children myself. A lot of my friends have children, and I like to hear updates about the kids. I'm a good friend, and I'm a good Auntie Carrie. Auntie Carrie is nice to all of her honorary nieces and nephews. So I'm just going to give you a tale of 2 toddler clips that I got. Okay, one, and these children are the same age. They're about 2.5, 3. Okay, one is a naked toddler on a couch eating what I think is like granola, and she's drooling it on her chest, on her naked chest. And her mom, my friend, is going, "You having a snack?" And then she goes, "Yeah." And the mom goes, "What are you eating?" And she goes, "Cheerios." And my friend goes, "Are those Cheerios?" And she goes, "I don't know." And my friend goes, "Well, you can have some Cheerios in a minute if you want Cheerios." And she goes, "Okay." And there's crumbs and drool everywhere. This went on for 90 seconds. Okay. So I don't know if you can tell my vibe, but like that's one. The second clip of a toddler, different friend, different toddler, different coast even. And it's this little kid, and she's dressed up, and she's wearing a cute little outfit. She's clothed, and she's standing in an elevator. And the clip starts, and she pushes the C, I assume for cellar in this building, right? C. And the dad, my friend, goes, "And what is C for?" And the toddler screams, "C is for Carrie!" Clip ends. That's the clip. And I was like, "Oh, hell yeah, I'm saving that. It's going in the folder. I'm watching that every day." And I was like, "Yeah, if you want me to enjoy your toddler, make it 6 seconds long and about me." I have no attention span and all ego. And like, one of my friends knows this and one of them does not. And that friend was Aaron Kominos-Smith, everybody. Okay, yeah, that was the clip I got, and I love it. I'm not saving drooling, boring baby. So I heard a rumor that we're allowed to do PG-14 material this night.
Yeah.
Is that true? I have some PG-14 material. You ready? Sophia was talking about, are you a good dater? And I am not dating anymore. I have a boyfriend. We've been steady for many years. But before I was with him, I was a very, very good dater. I went on plenty of dates all the time. I had lots of first dates, some second dates, you know, and you weed out the people. I see no problem with dating multiple people at a time because you haven't had the "are we exclusive" conversation yet, right? So I'd like line up the dates. If I'm going to blow out my hair, I'm going to line up 3 dates. I want at least 3 people to see that. Right? I'm not wasting the pretty. Like, this is coming out, right? So I would set up like a guy for dinner and a guy for dessert and a guy for drinks, you know, one after another. Just kidding. It was all drinks. I would set them up 1, 2, 3 to be efficient. Now, I think this is an efficient way to go. This is like speed dating. I'm just, you know, and I'm not lying to anyone because we haven't had that talk yet. These are like first, second, third dates. This is not exclusivity dates. And so I was explaining the system to, first of all, do you guys agree with my system? Oh, shit. Okay, no, okay. Usually people think I'm adorable. So that is shocking to me. But I was explaining the system to my dad, and my dad did not like this system. He was not a fan of this. He said, I would be happier if you dated only one man at a time, which is wildly inefficient. I was in my late 30s. Like, that's not efficient. You know what I mean? So I was like, why? And I'm ready to talk about how, like, I'm like ready to argue. And he said, before I could argue, I just don't want to see you on the cover of Slut magazine. To which I replied, my brother was there too. He saw this whole thing. To which I replied, I've never been on a magazine cover. If the editors of Slut magazine called me up and they were like, your father told us you're a slut. We want to put you on the cover. We heard you're dating 3 men at a time. Yes, I would take that gig. Are you kidding me? I would take that gig. Also, I would feel really tragic about the subscribers. The subscribers of Slut magazine Get this, and it's me on the cover. And they're like, all right, Miss February, what's she up to? And it's just, she dated 3 men at a time.
Oh, excellent.
Swiping right, and just lined them up. Centerfold. And it's just this blurb of like, yeah, she felt like she was getting older and didn't have it, so she. But I did meet my boyfriend on Tinder, so it worked, Dad. Thank you. This isn't really a bit, but Sophia reminded me that I had an exterminator. You reminded me of your poop joke, which was very weird. Did you find the source of the poop?
What?
Did you find the source of the poop?
Yeah, it was my friend's cat pooped, but I thought a rat got in my apartment.
You confuse cat poop with rat poop?
Wow.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I've never seen rat.
All right. I had a problem over the summer with the giant roaches, and I really hate giant roaches. And we had an exterminator come in. It's a new exterminator we'd never had before. And he came in the winter, and we were told he's so good, he only needs to come once every 6 months, which was weird because our old exterminator came once a month, whatever. So this guy walks in, and this happened on Seinfeld. And it happened to me in real life. Again, my life imitates Seinfeld whenever possible, I believe. And this guy came in, and I get a speech about how I could be closer to God, right? That I need to be closer to God. And I'm like, oh, this dude's in a cult. And the exterminator is the front for this cult. Or maybe not. Maybe he's just really into God. Like, I don't, and I'm not going to debate the existence of God with the exterminator. Do you know what I mean? But I am willing to fake believing in a God to get rid of roaches. Is that
A roach god.
Is that unethical? Yes, I will believe in the roach god. The roach god must condemn these roaches. It's not a bit, but like I remember thinking that at the time, be like, I will fake whatever you need me to say, sir. Kill them. Yes, God is great. I don't even know which religion we are right now, but it doesn't matter. Kill them. I will end on this. I am a native New Yorker. And if you hang out with me for more than 20 minutes, I will probably try to work that into the conversation. I am very smug about my native New Yorkerness. Do we have any other native New Yorkers on the phone call?
Yeah.
We are.
Okay. This is a risky bit because I don't know if this is going to work. This works in Brooklyn. So I don't take that what you will. But when I get around my other native New Yorker friends, we get to be smug about it together, which I think is the main bond of people born in New York City, is that we get together and talk about how everyone else is a tourist and blah, blah, blah. And then a pet peeve of ours is when people say they're from New York City, but they're not. They're really from like Yonkers or like Jersey or like Long Island or like, Staten Island. And you have to be from one of the 4 boroughs. That was a rib on okay, never mind. That was a Staten Island. Staten Island is technically part of New York. But so I'm getting together with my native New Yorker friends. We met at camp 40 years ago. These are friends I've had for 40 years, but we don't hang out very often. So we're catching up. It's been a couple of years. We're catching up. We're sitting there. And a friend of mine, camp friend, who is black, she was black and she is still black. And that's context. Believe me, and she goes, and we were talking about being from New York City and what that does to children. And she goes, you know what? I did a bunch of family history and some DNA stuff. And I figured out that I am a native New Yorker. Wow. I am from an original New York City tribe.
Wow.
I am from New York City tribally. I am a native person, and we figured this out, and I am from New York City. And I was like, whoa, that is more New York City cred than even me. Do you know what I mean? Like she's got New York City roots that go back before the colonists got here. And I was like, that is so cool. That's such a cool thing to learn about yourself. And she goes, yeah, and we even know what tribe. It's the Montauk tribe. Oh. And I said, yeah, that's Long Island. All right. half and half. Brandon didn't like it. You know what? It blew the roof off in Brooklyn. All right. I'm done here. I'm throwing it back to the host. Give it up for Aaron Kominos-Smith.
Good to see you again.
Keep it going for Carrie, everybody. Montauk.
Montauk.
It was so fancy in Montauk because even that feels like it's not even Long Island. Long Island. Yeah, it just doesn't feel like it. Keep it going for all the comics that you. Keep it going for Carrie, for Evan, for Sophia, for myself. Clap it up for yourselves for being amazing, awesome audience. So much appreciated. Thank you all for being here. This show is going to keep going. We'll see you next Friday, final show of February 28th. Definitely send those tips. It is much appreciated. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. We'll hang out for a few if you want to chat, and make sure go and subscribe to me on YouTube. No new subscribers last week, probably because those of you who are going to do it already did, but I'm going to keep saying it every week. I'm going to keep reminding myself to do it, reminding myself to remind you to go do it. Everyone, have a great night. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Good to see you all, everybody.
Good to see you, Garrett. Great.